Welcome back to the Her Workplace Unfiltered podcast. I am in charge today, and my name is Kalli Prins. I am the VP of Growth and Experience at Her Workplace, and I'm so excited to interview you, our founder, Marilynn Joyner, today, and put you on the other side of the mic. So this is really exciting.
Thank you. Excited to do this and be here, and it's going to be really fun.
I know we've talked about this for so long. And so it's really exciting to just be here and get things rolling and just have a conversation with each other. So
we're doing it.
We're doing all of the things. Yes. So let's talk a little bit first about owning your career. So you talk a lot about owning your career. And I think that's something so many women in our network are trying to figure out in real time. Mm-hmm. So let's start there. What does it mean to truly own your career, and how has that changed for you over time, and especially over the past few years of building Her Workplace?
Yes, it has definitely changed pretty dramatically. I will say at the very beginning of my career, when I was in my 20s and getting into the office early in the morning and being there from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. every single day, I really was so focused on listening to what other people were telling me. Mm-hmm. I would listen to my boss saying, you need to be the first one in and the last one out. And you need to do this to be successful. And so what it means to really own your career is to step away from listening to what other people are telling you is the way to be successful. Mm-hmm. It's more about defining within yourself, what does success mean to me? And what are the things that I want to do that I know will help me become successful? Mm-hmm. And again, just getting rid of listening to what other people are saying to do.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're really good at that. Like working alongside you over the past 2 years, I feel like I've really seen you hone in on that and being able to listen to other people's perspectives, but to really hone in on your gut and how you feel about how we should move, how you want your life to look. And I think that's something that can be really a struggle for a lot of women, especially. So can you share a moment when you realized no one was going to hand you the career you wanted, that you had to build it yourself?
Yes, many moments, I would say. It really stems back to my experience in commercial real estate brokerage. I had spent my entire career in commercial real estate, which is a heavily male-dominated industry. Mm-hmm. I was one of 18 women out of 250 plus men in the office that I was working in New York City.
So that is just like fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's definitely an industry where it's still very archaic. Mm-hmm. There are not enough women alone at the C-suite, but even more so getting into those managerial and leadership positions. Mm-hmm. And that's really the path that I wanted to take. Mm-hmm. And it was actually an experience that I had later on in my career before I became an entrepreneur when I was attending business school. Mm-hmm. I ended up going to business school part-time because I wanted to level up my skills and I wanted that degree on my resume so that I could go back to my organization and say, hey, I've worked really hard. This is what I've accomplished. Mm-hmm. I'm at the top of my game and I need your support to help me get into a leadership role. Mm-hmm. And it was through multiple scenarios of not being awarded certain projects, being left out of real big opportunities and meetings that could really help me get to that next level. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, not being paid enough. You know, there were so many scenarios where I was working on deals with teams of all men, and my pay was much less. And so really wasn't one particular circumstance, but more so a snowball of all of these experiences, and there being a trend that was very eye-opening of you're not going to be supported within this industry, and you're not going to be supported within this company. And so it's time for you to step out and create and build a career that you want, not one that other people are saying that you should have.
Right.
It's the shoulds. You should do this. You should do that. It's getting rid of the should.
I also have been trying to remove should from my vocabulary as well, because I think it's an unnecessary word for us to put that additional pressure on ourselves. And I do really like the way that you framed that as well, of like, I just need to get rid of what everybody else is saying that I should do and that I need to do, and just focus on that career path that's for me, because you're the only one who's living your life. So it should be something that you're enjoying and that you're getting value out of, and that you are getting compensated for. And so it's just so important to have that realization too. So what's one belief or story you had about career success that you've completely redefined?
Within the past 2 years of being an entrepreneur, I have learned more than my 12 plus years in corporate. Not saying that one is better than the other at all, but things again really started to shift for me when I started taking the reins of what I truly wanted in my career. One thing that I'm leaning so much more into, and it's something that I continue to learn more and more about myself every day, is that how you show up is so important.
Yeah.
And what that means from a wellness standpoint is it's all about taking care of yourself so that you can show up as your best self every day.
Yeah.
And this was a belief that I had in corporate of, no, it's about the hours that you're putting in. It's about when are you online? Am I online from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
And at the very beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I had to really throw that belief out the window. Because being an entrepreneur, everything is on you. And it's easy to jump in and work these long hour days because everything's riding on you. And it's about the output that you're putting out there. So much more than being in a corporate role. So I've had to let go of that belief, because what I've realized is that burnout is real.
Definitely.
And I really was just starting to hit a wall of not performing and showing up as my best self. And so it's something that I'm working on, is getting a little bit of movement in every day, taking walks outside, getting fresh air, spending time with my family, and spending time alone with myself so that I can keep myself at a really strong level physically and mentally.
Yeah. And sometimes it's so hard to do that when you're working inside of a corporate organization, because like you were saying, you've got the shoulds. You also too have the need to be online, the FaceTime, the being present for other people constantly. And so that also adds an additional pressure as well.
And I will say, Kalli, this is something that I've learned from you. And this can definitely resonate for the woman that is in corporate, is it's okay to be honest and real with your boss or your colleagues. Like one thing that you do is, I know that in the afternoons, you take a lunch break, you go on walks with your dog. And I know that's something that is ritual for you and that you do that every day. And you're honest with me about that, and you tell me about that. And I think that's something that's really important to do, especially inside of these corporate companies, is just being honest about, hey, I'm going to be offline for the next 30 minutes to go eat my lunch or take a walk outside. It's really all about the output. Are you achieving your goals? Are you doing the things that that organization needs you to do? And when you are doing that, when you're performing, you have more control over speaking up and voicing that, hey, like I'm going to take some time, or I'm going to go do this, or I won't be around from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. because I have a doctor's appointment. It's okay to say that.
I used to be so afraid
me
to
too.
like have a doctor's appointment during the day, or, just anytime that you needed to do a little thing for yourself, even stepping away for 10 minutes to like eat a quick lunch. I just feel like you can get stuck in this mentality of everybody else's time is so much more important than mine. And the time that I'm online is more important than me taking that lunch or taking that quick walk. And so I think what I've learned too is that boundaries are really for yourself, and setting those and sticking to them so that other people can also respect those boundaries too. But if you don't respect them, then it's really hard for other people too. And so I think also the culture that we're building at her workplace is that culture of honesty, to build trust, to make sure that everybody is taking care of themselves as well. And you've really encouraged, I think, me also to be honest, that I feel comfortable. I feel like I'm allowed to do that in this environment. So let's talk a little bit about that transition from corporate to founder. So before her workplace, you were in corporate and in spaces that weren't always built for you and built for women. So I'd love to talk about that transition of what it taught you. What pushed you to leave the corporate world and step into something of your own?
So I will be honest, it took me 2 years to leave corporate. Because I didn't have the courage or the confidence to be able to go out and become an entrepreneur. There was still a lot of unknowns that I had, even down to the smallest things of like, how do I get a URL for a website? Like I didn't know a lot of those like nitty gritty details that you need to actually launch a business. It wasn't necessarily one instance. It was kind of a culmination of many things happening at once. My boss at the time was like really pushing me to come back to the office every day. We had just gotten out of the pandemic. And so it was that weird time where most of my colleagues were still working from home and really leaning more into these flexible work schedules. And I wasn't required to be in an office every day, but this person I was working with was really pushing me. So I felt a lot of pressure first. I also was working with someone else who I really admired and saw as a mentor, who was starting his own business on the side. And we were working on some projects together. And so through building that relationship, he was someone that I, at that time, was learning a lot from in regards to starting a company. And so I would say it was kind of like that situation as well. And then thirdly, it was my own experience of struggling as a woman, of not seeing a pay increase, struggling to get to that next promotion, getting all of this pressure from the company and the people around me to show up in a certain way. And really feeling insecure about the trajectory of my career. And I had worked so hard. I had done everything that everyone told me to do. I had just graduated with my MBA and I wasn't seeing the ROI. And I didn't feel supported by the company that I was with.
Yeah.
So with all of these factors, it kind of snowballed to this frustration of, if I'm feeling this way, other women must be feeling this way.
Yeah.
And so there's something here, there's a problem that I want to go solve.
Yeah. And you wanted to, even before you left corporate, like for those 2 years, you had started building a little bit of her workplace, right?
Yes.
What did that look like?
Yeah. So really funny. Her workplace, the name was actually an initiative that I started at the firm that I was with before my last company that I was with.
Okay.
I worked for this amazing woman. She used to be the CFO of J.Crew. And her and I came together and we were like, we should create this newsletter and initiative called Her Workplace.
Yeah.
And focus on representing and supporting female founders. And so when I left that company and went to the competitor, I took that URL with me.
Yeah.
And I just kept it.
Yeah.
And so when it came time, this is 3-4 years later, to come up with a name of this thing that I wanted to build, I was like, oh, I already have the URL.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should just go create the brand out of this and keep this name because I have it.
Yeah. Right.
And it just fits so perfectly.
Yeah.
So it was really all of these kind of experiences that I had. I started hosting breakfasts for women in my industry and bringing women together. And so that was a really great experience of me kind of becoming this leader and supporter in my industry. A lot of the women would always come to me for advice and help. Like I would get messages from women across the country.
Wow.
Saying, Marilynn, you're the one that's like supporting other brokers. I'd love to connect with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really kind of just these moments of experiencing different things that led to the building of this.
Yeah.
I also, right before the pandemic, was working on an initiative just for fun with our DEI officer at my former firm to support women in our organization. We were seeing like crazy rates of women leaving the company. And so I just went to him and said, hey, I have an idea of how we can better support women. And this is what it looks like. Now, it never got off the ground because we hit the pandemic and obviously there were other priorities. But I look back at that moment as well of when I built the business plan for Her Workplace. I looked back at that deck that I had put together.
Yeah.
And it was those building blocks of those opportunities that all came together.
Yeah.
So that when it was time, I took all of those little nuggets and put the pieces together.
Yeah. I mean, you lived the experience of so many of our members and feeling that friction of trying to continue growing and also too trying to give back to the organization that you were in.
Yeah.
So I really love that. I actually didn't know all of that. So that's so cool. Yeah. Everything is a building block to the next thing, right?
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because women that I used to work with within my former company, they know what I'm doing now. And when I started it, a lot of them came to me and said, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
This is you.
Yeah.
Like this was always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting when maybe too, I mean, maybe you did, but did you not realize some of those things, like putting all the pieces together until it came together and you were like, oh, like this is me. Like this is what I've been like prepping myself for. Like I am trying to bring people together. I am trying to support other women. I think that's really cool when your network also comes back to you and says, oh, this looks perfect for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say when I left, I felt so much shame. And I felt like I had wasted 12 years of my life trying to be in this industry that I thought I would be successful in. And I was so worried about, do people think I'm a failure?
Yeah.
Do people think of me as, oh, Marilynn didn't make it?
Yeah.
She's off to go do something else.
Right.
I had a lot of those feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
And now that this is something that is built,
Mm-hmm.
I look back and instead I think it was all meant to be.
Yeah.
Like I was meant to, quote unquote, fail,
Yeah.
I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in this industry and
Yeah.
experience these challenges
Mm-hmm.
for myself.
Yes.
So that I could go build something for women experiencing that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have that support that you never had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that. What did working in a male-dominated industry teach you about leadership and self-advocacy?
So what's really interesting is and still to this day, I will say I've become softer because now I'm around a lot of women.
Yeah.
But very early on in my career, I acted like a man.
Yeah.
I wore the suits. I was aggressive. I talked fast.
Yeah.
I walked fast.
Right.
Like everything I did was very like manly.
Yeah. Because those were the examples that were in front of you.
Yes. And I thought that that was the way to succeed.
Yeah.
And I also thought that the way that to succeed was to be in the boys' club and to be the only woman.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't necessarily support women early on in my career because I was taught there could only be one person.
Right.
So that was a lesson that I had to learn over time.
Yeah.
Of the women that don't support other women are the ones that hurt. And there's a lot of women that don't. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned over time to be my authentic self, that I didn't need to fit inside of this mold that I was being told I should fit into.
Yeah.
It was more about digging in to who I really am and using the strengths of me.
Yes.
To, again, show up as myself every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, that came with maturity. Like it took time for me in my 20s to really dig into who am I? And that was also a time when I would always call my mom and ask for advice and call my friends and talk to my bosses about what I should do.
Yeah. Like seeking that outside approval.
Yes.
Instead of looking inward.
Yeah. I will say one transformative moment for me was actually going to business school, and not that you have to go to business school.
Yeah.
For me, though, it was an experience that got me out of my comfort zone. I thought commercial real estate was the only industry to be in.
Yeah.
And it was what I was surrounded by for all those years.
Yeah.
But when I went to business school, I suddenly was surrounded by, first off, a class of people from over 35 different countries.
Yeah.
And across different industries and cultures and experiences. And that really opened my eyes to, oh, wow, why have I been so blinded that this is the only career for me?
Yeah.
There's so much more out there that I could explore, and so many different types of people that I could meet. And to be frank, I was primarily surrounded by white guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to be put in this environment that was so diverse, yet we were all so close.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Do you feel like that really helped you build this different network outside of what you were used to and the network that you had built over the last 10 years or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helped me really zoom out and see that commercial real estate's not the only path.
Yeah.
There's more that I can do.
Right.
And it's okay to go down a different road.
Yeah. It's okay to change your mind.
Yes.
Yeah. I can really relate to that. Obviously being in the fashion industry, and then you kind of have like blinders on, like your tunnel vision, like you're like, this is the industry, like this is where I'm going to make it. And when you do have those experiences that help you see outside of the box, it seems like there are so many other opportunities and possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Were there any moments early on which I'm sure that there were, that you questioned that leap? Or did you know that you were not going back into corporate?
I mean, I will say entrepreneurship is extremely hard.
It's so hard.
And it's hard for very different reasons than working for another company.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of pressure of everything's riding on you.
Yeah.
You're the one that's leading and steering the ship.
Yep.
So you can't let go of that wheel.
Yes.
I mean, transparently, there are days when I doubt myself and I question, should we keep going?
Yeah.
And that's very normal.
Right.
It is very much an up and down experience. And I've actually had to educate my husband on this.
Yeah.
Because there will be some times at dinner with him where we sit at the dinner table and I'm like, it's going under.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
Yes.
Like, we're not doing well. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? We just got this amazing partnership and we're doing all these things and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what's real or not. Like,
You're
what?
Like, one day this, the next day that. That is, I mean, that's startup life for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something you really have to come to terms with.
Yeah.
Is that it is a roller coaster.
Yes.
And I truly believe that the companies that make it are the ones that you just keep going.
Yeah.
You can't let go. You can't get off of the ride.
Yeah.
And through those really tough moments, you just have to keep pushing through.
Yeah.
And of course, there's circumstances that organizations face where they have to shutter.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that, especially in those early days. It's more about resiliency.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, we've gone through a pivot. We've definitely had like those ups and downs. And I think there is that like energy of, okay, we can have a bad day. We can have a bad month. We can have scary things happen. But to be able to just say no, we still believe so much in the mission and we have to keep going, not just for us, but for the network and for the women out there that need this support. So I really respect you for continuing to like push through and like have that resilience mindset. It's so important. It makes all the difference having a leader up at the top who's having that mentality and can just kind of like shrug your shoulders off. You know what I mean? Like you can just say, okay, like today didn't work, but tomorrow's going to work. Yeah.
And that's another thing is you have to be okay with failure.
Yes.
That's one thing I've had to really lean into is that it is good to fail. And if you don't know much about her workplace, we actually went through a business pivot a year ago. We started off as a co-working community, took over a space in New York City, tested it for 6 months and realized that it wasn't in line with our mission. It wasn't in line with the whole purpose of building this. And coming from commercial real estate and being the expert on spaces, that was really hard for me to come to terms with. I'm not going to be a co-working founder.
Right.
That's just not my path.
Yeah.
And now look, like the business model definitely could have worked, but it was more about there being a misalignment with the mission.
Yeah.
Of wanting to provide resources for women.
Yes.
And co-working doesn't align with that.
Right.
And so that was a moment of maybe I would deem that failure, but it brought us to 3 times the growth. It took us to another level that I think is going to continue to propel us forward.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay with failing. It's a good thing to fail.
Yeah.
It's better to fail because then you learn quickly what doesn't work.
Yes.
And you can lean into the things that do work.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, absolutely. I feel like there also too were moments last summer where there was a lot of that like up and down from like day to day. But again, the mission was always to support women and give them these resources. Yeah. And there were so many of our members who understood and supported us. And like, when maybe we had some doubts, they were like sending us messages and like sharing like, you've got this and like we've got this and like let's keep going. And I think that encouragement also from your customers helps you continue to, okay, it's okay if this direction didn't work. It's okay to make a pivot. Mm-hmm. It's okay to do these different transitions for the greater good of the business and what you're trying to build and the impact that you're trying to grow. Mm-hmm. So yeah, another topic too that we're going to talk about is confidence building with you. And even from like day one that you and I had met, I remember being like, wow, she's got like this like really great confidence. And it was really important for me at that time because I felt like I was sort of missing some of it. I had kind of been broken down a little bit. And I remember saying to myself before we met was like, that is one non-negotiable for me, is that I want to work with a female founder who is highly competent and also values driven. And I feel like you really resembled that. And the way that you build confidence in yourself, but also to helping other women build up that confidence is so important. So as I've seen you also gain more confidence in her workplace and the business growth, what do you think has really like helped you care less about what others think and more about what you think?
Again, taking ownership of yourself and your career and your development is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect. Like every day is different. There's some days where I'm not feeling as confident or I'm not feeling fully myself. There's sometimes when I come across like maybe a customer has said something negative about us, which happens, when you're a customer facing business. And that's tough.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be for everyone. And you just have to come to terms with that, that it's more important to lean into the people that do support you.
Yeah.
And it was definitely during that time of the pivot where we really had to lean into our customers that needed us.
Yes.
And that wanted to be there and they were supporting us rather than surrounding yourself by people that don't support you.
Yeah.
And so that's really the mindset that I've ingrained in myself is, you know what? If you don't like me or if you're going to judge me or if you're going to say bad things about me, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's not on me.
Yeah.
And if you can just have that attitude and get away from any of that negativity and lean into the positive support, it's only going to lift you up.
Yeah. 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 I feel like we talked about that a lot when we first started doing our strategy sessions together and just like meeting and working together was, I remember asking you of like, how do you like stop caring what people think? Like, how do you like shut that voice off? And I do remember you talking about, it's important to have positive people around you. It's important to have people who are also trying to do big things that are inspiring you. Like the more that you're around that, the more you become that. And the more that you have that confidence to do that. So
yes,
I really that's something that's so important for her workplace too, is for women to feel like they're allowed to be confident and they're uplifted and that they can continue building that confidence and help uplift other people too.
And that's actually something too that reminds me of a class that I took in school. It was a networking class of like how to effectively build your network. And I remember the professor saying about how it's so important to surround yourself with people that you want to be like.
Yeah.
or like people that interest you, or people that you want to learn from, or people that are doing things that you are interested in.
Yeah.
And that's what we're building.
Yes.
Is a place where you can meet those people.
Yes.
You can meet someone that, say, is outside of your industry and is doing something really interesting to you and that you want to learn more about. It's those tertiary connections, the not direct, not your colleagues, not your friends, not your family.
Yes.
It's the friends of friends, the friends of colleagues, the former colleague of a colleague. It's those people that are actually going to make you better,
right,
and propel you forward.
Right. Have there been any times when you held yourself back out of fear of judgment, and how did you work through that?
I mean, I'll be honest, it still happens today. There are moments that I face where I have to just push myself forward. One thing that I've really just been struggling with is getting out there on social media. That's one, I think, small regret that I have about the beginning phases of this business is just not getting on social media more frequently in the beginning to really build my brand and my voice to help drive this. Now, I don't believe that every founder has to be out there. You can still build a successful business and not have a social media.
Right.
It is possible. But for something like this that we're building to where we're really striving to be the leader, the career resources leader in supporting women, it's so important for the founder to be seen. And that's something that I struggle with is showing up every day, being real, being authentic, pushing myself to be vulnerable, and to let go of those comments or those thoughts from others, those negative thoughts. That's been a challenge for me. But the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with it. Like we're doing this. Like this is a big deal. Because I was so afraid to do something like this 2 years ago. So it's baby steps. It's keep moving forward, keep trying things, keep testing things, and eventually you'll pick up the momentum along the way.
I mean, it kind of goes back to the shoulds and getting that out of that mindset and that language out of your vocabulary of like, how can you do it authentically to you? Whether that's being on social media or trying something new and being able to be seen just doing that, and blocking out like the outside and external voices. The personal branding is important for your career. And I think that's something, and networking and being able to build those strong relationships and connections it gives you that ownership of your career. I think that's something that I've really learned from working with you and also the women in our network is I'm seeing people really take ownership of their careers by doing these things that give them that access and opportunity, that you can attract these things rather than chase them. And I feel like, it's scary to put yourself out there, but it's scarier not to do it and put that control into somebody else's hands.
And that's what ownership is. At the end of the day, organizations have to hit certain revenue goals. They have to report to investors a certain way. And we've seen a lot of layoffs happen within the past several years. Unfortunately, you are just a number. And I hate to be real about that. But that's why it's so important to build your career on your own. You need to have other relationships outside of your organization. You need to get out there and learn about other industries because that's your backup plan. Like if shit hits the fan, that's your backup plan.
Yeah.
Is having that support outside of your company, outside of your industry, outside of your immediate network.
Yes.
That's what owning your career is.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about momentum and leadership and really building a high trust team. And I know we were just talking about like trust. And so one thing we often talk about is the pace that we move at and how that's only possible because of the team and the network of brand ambassadors that we've built. I mean, we have this incredible support system around us that I feel like we're able to really take things to the next level with other passionate people. So I think that says a lot about your leadership. And I've seen you too from, as we've been working together over the last few years, is the way that your hiring process, I think, has changed, and what you look at for people coming into the team has also changed in a really positive way. Not that it was negative before, but just I think that there has been kind of a switch there. Like, what helps you stay decisive and like keep that momentum going, especially when the path isn't so clear, and having and bringing these people along with you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially as a bootstrapped organization, it's challenging.
Yeah.
Trying to not only build the organization and get traction, but building the team and finding the right people who can be flexible is really tough.
Yeah.
I lead with my gut.
You do. You do. And I love it. I try to embody that too. It's like, how can I lead from my gut more? And I love that you really listen to it.
It's so interesting because I remember in my 20s, people would say, just trust your gut. And I was like, I can't feel my gut.
I can totally relate to that.
I literally did not understand what that meant.
Yeah.
But I think it really comes down to understanding who you are. And especially when you have worked with other people, like if you have colleagues or bosses and you're surrounded by these other people, you can likely get a good sense of the people that you work well with and the people that you don't.
Yes.
And a lot of that is based on personality and, whether you're a promotion type person or a prevention type person. And I actually learned this in school too, and you can be both as well, but there's really kind of two types of people. There's people that are the promotion type. They get excited about challenges and new projects, and they just want to get things started.
Yeah.
And then there's the prevention people, like the lawyers and the CPAs and the CFO.
Yeah.
It's those people that are like, hold on, let's look at the risk, or let's go back and look at the potential issues we could face.
Yeah.
The thing is, for society to work, you need both of those people.
Yes.
And similar inside of an organization, you need the promotion people to drive things forward, but the prevention people to make sure that you don't crash.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think it was really kind of understanding those dynamics. And through my experience of working with different clients and different bosses and colleagues about, okay, who are the people that I work really well with? Who are the people that I don't work well with?
Yeah.
And then for those people that are prevention, because I'm very much promotion, how can I work better with them?
Yeah.
And so that's led a lot of my decisions of how do we build this team?
Yeah.
How do we make sure we have a balance of those two different types of people?
Yeah.
But also, who are the people that really want to be part of the journey?
Yeah. Yes.
And how do I feel about them in my gut? And it's so interesting, within the first 5 minutes of meeting someone who could potentially be in our team, I know whether they're a fit or not. So it's been an interesting discovery of myself. That's really what it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that too. And I feel like, you've built a really badass team. I feel
we have an amazing team.
Yeah. I feel very excited with the people that we have on our team that we get to collaborate with. And I think too, that's something that I'm curious of is, as you're bringing people in, besides like kind of noticing if they're prevention or promotion, like what are some things that you look at as far as, skill or certain things that you're like, this person has exactly what we need to like push this area forward, or this is what we've been missing.
Yeah.
How do you kind of eye that?
I think it all comes from being curious.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my word of the year.
Yeah, I love that word.
The people on our team, are they curious?
Mm-hmm.
Are they excited to like get their hands dirty?
Yeah.
My way is not the right way. There are some things that I've done that have worked, but I need people who are going to challenge me.
Yeah.
And I need people who can come to me and say, you know what, Marilynn, I actually spent some time to dig into this and I found another solution that's better.
Yeah.
That's curiosity.
Yeah.
And that's what I really look for is, are they going to take that extra initiative to take it into their own hands and really find the best thing that's going to work for the company and what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
And challenge me on those things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to be challenged.
Yeah.
And it's good to like have other people that you can learn from that are also learning from you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like a give and a give situation.
Yes. And I think a lot of founders get this wrong because what happens when you become a founder is you're building something that gets out into the world. And then you start building an ego. And I think a lot of founders get lost in their ego.
Yes.
And they start to believe that they're the best at everything.
Right.
Because they're the leader and that they've built this incredible thing that's working.
Yeah.
But I believe the best founders are the ones that surround themselves with people that are better than them where they are weak.
Yeah. Yes.
So like,
that makes a well-rounded team.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's things that I'm not great at and that there's things I don't like doing. And that's another piece of it is how can I find people that are better than me, that will challenge me, that will be curious and that will help drive this forward.
On that note, how do you encourage your team to move fast without burning out or getting stuck in perfectionism?
Yeah, so I'm a believer in moving as fast as possible and being okay with things breaking. And in some instances, that's not always the best approach, which I know. But I will say, having a startup, it's all about speed to market. Like how quickly can you just get something out there and get things moving and grooving? And I've learned that over time. It took me 2 years to leave corporate to start this.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't very fast during that period.
Yeah.
I realized that doesn't always work in every situation. I need those prevention people to come and say, we can't move fast on this. Like this is breaking to the point of no return here. So we need to go in and solve this issue. So I think it is good to have a balance.
Yeah.
And you do that with me a lot. You're like, hold on, we need to like slow down the ship and we need to go figure out what this issue is that's holding us back.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is me coming to terms with sometimes you can't move forward until you fix a problem.
Yep. Or take a little step back.
Yes. So it's okay to get in the weeds. It's okay to get a little bit ingrained in that perfectionism because you do need that sometimes. It's all about moderation.
Yeah.
How can you be fast, but also make sure that things are working along the way?
Yes. Yes. And making sure that you're not getting stuck in in that perfectionism mentality.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about mentorship and like building your circle. So you've said before that building her workplace was about creating the network that you wish you had. So I know mentorship and having people in your corner has been really helpful for you and huge in this endeavor with her workplace. So what's your approach to building authentic relationships with mentors and peers? How do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, this was really the beginning experiences of why her workplace is here today. I do believe that in order to be successful, you need to have access to resources and people.
Yes.
And that's a hard lesson I had to learn throughout my own career journey of you have to build those relationships on your own.
Yes.
No one's going to build these relationships for you. And there have been many relationships along my own journey of ones that have continued and that I still reach out to and I still talk to those people who have kind of been there for me along the way.
Yeah.
And it was me initiating those relationships. So some things that I do is I have a few people that are mentors and advisors that have been with me, particularly throughout this journey. And I just make it really easy on them.
Yeah.
And how I do that is we schedule a time every month to get together, either virtually or in person. And we just have a recurring calendar invite.
Yeah.
And we both hold each other accountable to show up.
Yeah.
Because the thing about mentorship is that if you are the mentee, in some ways, you can also be the mentor.
Yeah.
And with all of my mentor relationships with, these people are senior level leaders across different industries, I teach them things too.
Yeah.
So it really is a two-way relationship.
Yes.
And I think it's about digging into more about what that looks like with this person. How can I also give back to them and support them in whatever it is that they're doing?
I think that it can be like a lot of people can get that wrong when you're building that mentorship relationship is like that again, it is a give and a give. And that I love that you also think about what can I do for them?
Yeah.
And how can I give back to them as well? Like there's so much importance in that of even just building relationships in general. Like they work the best when both people are giving to each other. And I feel like you have some really strong mentors and advisors too that are behind you with her workplace.
Yeah. And again, some of my mentors are C-level leaders, which can be really intimidating.
Right. Yeah.
But every C-level leader, or most of them, they have career coaches. They have people that are supporting them and opportunities where they too are learning. They're constantly learning.
Yes.
And so think about it that way of like, I can teach them things.
Yeah.
Even though they're at this certain level.
Yeah.
I can still bring a lot to the table.
Yeah. And what advice would you give to someone who feels like they don't have that network yet? And like how to build those relationships also with mentors, peers, coaches?
Well, join her workplace.
Yes. Number one.
But also I would say, be curious. Find people that you're interested in. And look, you're going to get ghosted.
Yeah.
People won't respond. And it's not personal. Everyone's busy.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes bother me when women don't respond or really kind of provide that support back. But again, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about them. And I think it's about finding people that interest you and reaching out to them and being very thoughtful in what you're saying of, hey, Kalli, like, I would love to connect with you. I'm interested in learning more about this. Do you have some time for me to ask you a few questions? And it's those beginning moments where that relationship can continue on.
And I think that is too really special about her workplace is that I mean, you do get access to mentors that are ready and willing to give back and ready to like share their experiences. And I think that's also really important to have that access to mentors, to be able to make it a little bit easier than reaching out cold, or, sometimes it is hard to get like those rejections from people too, or like not responding to you.
Yeah, but it's not about you.
Yep.
It's not personal.
Yep.
So find the person that will respond.
Yeah. Yep. So let's close with a question that really ties it all together. So much of your story is about letting go of what success should look like and building your own version instead. So how did you know the version of success you were chasing before wasn't yours?
Yeah, I just kept hitting a wall. I remember sitting in my cubicle being so frustrated at here I am with 12 plus years of experience. I've had all of these great deals that I've done, these clients that I've had. I've brought in this many meetings or opportunities. Yet, why am I not at this level yet?
Yeah.
Why am I not getting paid X? I should be there.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting that support.
Yeah.
And so that was a realization of like, yes, the ball's in my court for me to own my career and go out and do the thing that's going to get me to the next level. But it also has to do as well with these systems that were not built for us.
Yeah.
And that was the frustration of, okay, it's very clear this is not a place that I can thrive.
Yes.
And so I'm going to go out and I'm going to find a place where I can.
Yeah. So what do you hope for the next generation of women and non-binary leaders to define for themselves, to feel that freedom in defining for themselves?
Again, it's all about taking ownership. This is your life.
Yeah.
Stop listening to what other people tell you what you should do. Start listening to what you want to do. And get excited, get energized, go out and do the thing that works for you. Because at the end of the day, like you're not going to get that full support from, say, your company or the organization that you're with.
Yeah.
It's really all on you owning your career.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the whole meaning behind this episode with you is really get rid of those shoulds and start taking ownership. So, all right, Marilynn, you already know what's coming. We close every episode with 3 questions to hear how our guests are leading on their own terms. So now it's your turn. Great. So what's one thing you do each day to stay grounded?
Movement. I try to get, even if it's 5 minutes, like a walk outside, just something to get my body moving, which gets my mind moving and really helps me to just be creative.
Yeah. What's something you used to think was necessary for success, but you don't anymore?
The number of hours you're clocking in. I don't believe it's about the number of hours you're working. It's about your output.
Yeah.
If you can work 3 hours a day and get the things done that you need to, great. And anyone that says otherwise is incorrect.
Yeah. I love that. What does building a career on your own terms mean to you?
Yeah. Again, it's about doing the things that fulfill you and getting away from the shoulds and getting away from these systems that are putting you in a box. And look, there's amazing companies and organizations out there that do uplift its people. And there's incredible people that you can work with that will uplift you. But surround yourself by that.
Yeah.
By others that have a growth mindset.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
I mean, I love it. Just feels like we're just chatting, which is so nice. And I love people getting to know you a little bit deeper as a founder and a leader. And also too, just going from that corporate, mindset to founder mindset. And I'm really excited to see what's next for you. So
Thank you.
thanks.